Let's start by multiplying fractions. Let's say we have 1/2 times 2. That means we want 2 of the 1/2 size pieces. So here I have 2 half-size pieces. Altogether, I have 1 whole circle or 1 whole cookie. How we could do that with the math is 2 is the same as 2 over 1, because 2 divided by 1 is still 2. And then if you multiply straight across, 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 1 is also 2. And 2 halves is 1 whole, or 2 divided by 2 is 1. All right, let's say we have 1/2 times 1/3. So that means we have a half-size piece, but we only want 1/3 of it. So I'm going to break this up into 3 equal parts. And I'd only really want like this part right here. So I have to figure out what fraction that is. Well, that looks about the same size as this piece here, which is 1/6. So here's how we could do it without the fraction pieces, is we just multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6. There might be some times where we need to simplify them. Let's say we're doing 2/3 times 5/6. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 6 is 18. Those are both even numbers, so we can divide them both by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So when we multiply those, we would simplify it to 5/9. And by simplify, that means find an equivalent version of the fraction that has smaller digits, and normally at least one of them is a prime number. Now let's practice dividing. 6 divided by 2 could mean 6 things shared by 2 people, or it could mean how many groups of 2 would make 6. And that's the method that I'm going to use today because it makes the most sense for fractions. So let's say I have these 2 and these 2 and these 2. Just a second, Tyler. Mommy's making a video for my students. All right, so altogether I have 6 things, and I have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So my answer would be 3. All right, for 3/4 divided by 1/4. So here's 3/4 of a circle. How many 1/4 size pieces would fit inside this 3/4 here? Well, luckily this is already divided into 1/4 chunks. So there's 1, 2, 3 1/4 size chunks. But to get that 3, if we didn't have the picture, we could divide straight across as long as the denominators are the same. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. And 3 over 1 is 3 divided by 1, which is 3 divided by 1/8. So here I have 1/8 size pieces. Try to line that up. That looks good. So how many 1/8 size pieces would fit into 3/4 of a circle? Well, since these line up, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 6. Let's say we're doing 3/4 divided by 1/8 without a picture. So what we can do is we can change this starting fraction to have an 8 as the denominator. So we can times it by 2 over 2. So this could be the same as 6/8. So now if we do 6/8 divided by 1/8, and we divide straight across, we would get 6. And then 8 divided by 8 is 1. And 6 divided by 1 is 6. So that means it would take 6 1/8 size pieces to make 3/4. So sometimes getting that common denominator is sometimes challenging. So another option we have is somebody just through a pattern realized that we can do this really cool trick. we can keep our first fraction. Then we can change division to multiplication if we flip this next fraction, and that's called using the reciprocal. So basically the reciprocal is if we take 1/8 times 8 over 1 and we multiply, we would get some number divided by itself, which is the same as 1. So a number and its reciprocal multiply to make 1. All right, so if we flip that fraction upside down, we can then multiply straight across. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4. And then if we simplify, 24 divided by 4 is 6. Let's try another. Let's say we have 1/3 times 5/8. Oops, that should have said divided by. We could then change that to 1/3 times 8/5. If we multiply straight across, we would get 8/15. And that one we can't simplify.